Greetings, hello, good day, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining Truehope Cast, the official Truehope Canada podcast. I am Simon. I am your host. Truehope Canada, if you're not familiar, is a mind and body based supplement company that is dedicated first and foremost to promoting brain and body health through non invasive nutritional means. And for more information about us, you can go to truehopecanada.com, and we are all over the usual social media sites. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any other episodes. But today we welcome registered holistic nutritionist, certified Reiki practitioner, and holistic wellness mentor, Courtney Katchum, to the show. Courtney helps people mitigate their physical symptoms, balance their energy, and enhance their intuition to claim the lives that they deserve. Her company, Glow Holistics, offers the space to release, relax, and find clarity. Courtney creates customized health plans and offers intuitive guidance, nutrient support, and therapeutic energy work. Courtney, thank you so much for taking the time with us today. How are you?
Hi, Simon. I'm really good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you very much. Yeah, it looks nice and sunny where you are, but yeah,
It's a valley, so it's a little foggy, but patches of blue, which is nice. Such a
patches
place.
of blue. That's great.
Yes.
Um, well, yeah, again, thanks so much for coming on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey into health and wellness? I always find that to be a very interesting story for most people.
Yeah, for sure. So I always was a little bit nutritionally minded and a bit spiritual, but it wasn't until I attended CSNN, the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition. I went there in 2017, and that really catalyzed my passion for nutrition and catalyzed my spiritual journey as well. So yeah, it's been a bit of a road for sure. There's so much to learn, so many avenues to go down, but I'm kind of honing in on what my passions are now. So that's what catalyzed it for me.
That's wonderful. And can you tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about Glow Holistics? Why that name?
Oh, well, just glowing from the inside out, the root of our turmoil, and it all comes from within. So I'm really, obviously, like you said, very energy based, and that glow that people just exude that comes from within. We try to attain it from different skincare products or, food, whatever it may be, exfoliating, but truly it's all coming from within. So, yeah, it was just kind of a natural name for me to come up with. It took a long time. And of course, once I let go of the pressure of it, it just popped in.
The name came to you in the end.
It did too. Yeah.
That's awesome. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about your practice?
Sure. Yeah. So, I work one-on-one with clients. Eventually, I'll do more group work, but right now, the atmosphere of what's going on, I just do one-on-one. So, what I've created is called a Glow Up Pack, and it's become quite popular. And it offers a chance to try Truehope. It offers the most powerful, affordable supplement or probiotic on the market, which is called the cultured coconut. It's a liquid kefir, and then a Reiki session with me, and then just some consulting, a little bit of, yeah, just talking back and forth and sharing our experience or their experience. And that's just kind of a culmination of it addresses, nutrition, mind, body, and spirit all in one. So it's a very well rounded package, and I'm really proud of it, and it's been quite successful.
Wonderful. And this package is include you're including supplements to help people kind of get right away, get some really good nutrition into their bodies, as well as like a counseling coaching aspect as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of the synopsis of it is it's an opportunity to be able to flood your system with the nutrients it's been missing, which is then helping you to balance on that physical level. And then, of course, sharing and counseling. And with the Reiki, we're just excavating the energetic sort of those blockages within by sharing and with the Reiki. So yeah, it's sort of like I said, it's a nice rounded package. So they're getting a lot in that one session, and it just gives them kind of the baseline, a foundation to move into, go away with and then integrate for their own selves throughout. Yeah, until our next session. Check in how they've been doing and tweak as we may need.
Wonderful. Can you tell us a little? I'm not sure everyone's familiar with what Reiki is, so maybe you could give us a little bit of an idea about what that is that goes into your practice.
Yeah, it's exciting to see it getting a lot more attention here in the West. So Reiki it's essentially means life force energy, and everything is energy. They always say that, but what that really means is if you were to break down everything in the universe, ourselves, mountains, the sky, the microphone in front of you, everything comes down. It comes down to a subatomic particle. If you were to break it down to its very most fundamental level. And a subatomic particle is, you're unable to isolate that. So if you're trying to take one, it'd be like pulling a string on a blanket. So in that way, that's how everything is connected. And so what Reiki is, this life force energy, it's constantly moving. It's supposed to constantly move. So what happens to us as we experience life, things come up, say emotional pain or different experiences come up, and it causes these energetic blockages within. We often compare it to like a river. So if there's a dam in a river, it's occluding the flow and it's causing a lot of issues up the river, down the river. And that's the same within our bodies. Maybe again, another metaphor, another example is like your circulatory system, your blood flows, it's supposed to flow unoccluded. If you have a blood clot, it's going to cause some major issues. And that's the same with energy. So we experience these particular, say a breakup, that's then causing this blockage within us. And Reiki, as a Reiki practitioner, I am just simply channeling that energy, that ever moving energy through my body, through my hands, and my hands placed upon the recipient, or some people do hands off Reiki. It's then transferring, it's like a little bit of a shift of that energy within you. So it's not me necessarily healing you, but it is me acting as a conduit for the energy in order to shift those blockages within you, or that stagnancy within you. And then you're able to now receive that natural flow of energy. So a lot of the time, people notice that they become quite emotional in a Reiki session, or they'll experience like muscle twitches, or your stomach will become active. They get off the table and their knee pain feels much better simply from one session. And it's, like I said, just simply because we have shifted a stagnant block that has been there. So pain, a disease, emotional overwhelm, it's simply trapped energy within your body. So for instance, like just to give a little example, your heart is your physical organ, and then your chakra is your energetic organ. It holds a ton of energy there. So if we say have neck pain, that's often associated with the literal inability, the feeling like you have the weight of the world on you. So all our pain and all our disease has this metaphysical or experiential component attached to it at the root of it. So Reiki is helping to shift that, and then things really open up as a result.
Wow, that's a really beautiful explanation. And I've been so lucky over the last couple of months to speak with so many energy workers who, using, as I say, like energy and our physical bodies and how people understand those concepts. I feel like I've repeated myself on this show many times, but it's such an important concept for us to wrap our head around, because we usually like to make our beliefs and opinions about the outside world and things like energy and physical matter with our own senses, our really limited senses. But to get the idea wrapped around about like energy and frequency, and the majority of the matter that we see is predominantly energy, things that we can't see, it doesn't mean it's not there. How do you, just a question for somebody who works with energy and Reiki in this, really ancient, physical, incredible practice, do you get some like funny looks from people when you start talking about energy in the body, and when you're talking about things like that? Like, how do you help explain it a little bit, because it's a really foreign concept for a lot of people?
Well, one thing that's really helpful is I've heard this, and it was really made a lot of sense to me that our nervous systems only register 1% of what's going on. So we're only seeing 1% of what's actually physically happening in the universe, that leaves a lot of room for a lot of magic to be happening. So I think that helps people kind of like understand a little bit. And then, just giving examples like the talking about how, it's this blanket of energy. We're all attached. And when we think about, walking into a room when two people are fighting and suddenly you feel that tension as well, that helps people really, gives them a tangible sort of experience. Yeah, that does happen to me. Or, somebody walks into a room and they just absolutely light it up. It's because we are literally attached to them. So talking about that, on a very quantum level, that subatomic particle idea that we are all attached string on a blanket, those kind of concepts, those visual concepts really allow people to kind of like picture it in a tangible way. So I get a lot of, wow, that makes sense, which is great. And of course, we attract the people who are meant to be in our experience. So I think people who are coming to me, they're ready to hear this.
Absolutely, yeah, a really, really beautiful image you create with that explanation. I think I might steal that if
Thank
that's
you.
okay. Um,
And yeah, please do.
yeah,
And another thing too, Simon, is that as a spirit, we're this spirit. That's what we are essentially. Our spirits, our true inner selves or higher selves, whatever you want to call it, recognizes that. Like we know it to be true. So yeah, it just it perks people up to sort of like, oh, you know what, that does make sense. It's our egos that are like, nah, I don't know about that.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's our egos.
inherently we know.
Certainly, our egos that get predominantly created from like the outside world, and we end up creating these personalities of people who we think that we are. But yeah, you call this like divine, internal, spiritual, foundational element that we are. That's pure light and pure energy. Can
Oh,
sometimes be incredibly different to the individual that I sometimes think that I am, but at the root of it, yeah, it's using energy to create balance in an incoherent system
mm.
can be really powerful for a lot of people who have experienced that type of disconnect for so long.
Totally. It's like a relief to hear that, and it normalizes us as well. I feel, we all experience the same thing on a foundational level as far as that disassociation with who we are. So, yeah, just speaking about this, especially in this time, so many people are coming into this awareness. The more we learn, the more we understand ourselves, the more it just becomes a lot easier for people to grasp those concepts the more we talk about it.
Absolutely. How have you seen Reiki support people's mental health?
Massively, massively, yeah. It's like counseling is just, again, everything is energy. So when we're talking, we feel that weight come off of us. When we journal, it's literally a transfer of that emotion. The energy in motion is what that translates to. So when we journal, we're literally transferring it from our arm into the page. Sorry, somebody's at the door here. And yeah, just moving it out. So when I'm offering Reiki, you don't even need to do anything. You're just literally laying back and I'm helping you to just excavate what has been laying stagnant in your body for so long. So people often come off of the table and they just feel bliss and light, and then of course to follow up and do your meditation, your morning practice, and the little bit of like recommendations I give afterwards. It's been so helpful. It's really inspiring and beautiful to see how it helps people's mental health.
Yeah, when you're actually giving a treatment as the practitioner, what type is there? Do you experience a similar thing every time? Is it different per person?
Mm.
How does that feel for you
Mm.
energetically?
Often I experience, it's both. It's both. So typical things that people experience, like I said, are muscle twitching, active stomachs, yeah, like muscle spasms and jumping limbs, things like that, emotion. For me, and also, they'll see colors, they'll see lights. So there are a lot of things that people are experiencing that are quite a common theme. And then for me on my end, sometimes I'll pick up I'll start to get, this anxious feeling in my chest, and I know that's not mine, it's there. So some practitioners, it depends on what kind of intuitive you are, how you are picking up, what you're picking up for them and what you're seeing. So it's a progression, like I'm always like, oh, I just want to see more and I want to know more, because I'll hear messages for them, but I know that it takes time. And so, yeah.
Yeah, do you like go just before you go into a session, because this sounds like, as a practitioner, that you like, going into a Reiki practice with somebody, obviously to honor that person's experience. Do you take like a certain amount of time before you do that session to really make sure that,
Yeah.
the things going on for you in your life, in your mind, are not distracting you from, that therapy?
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Your energy you have to be quite grounded and make sure you don't bring it in. And obviously, that it's not always possible. Sometimes, I have had sessions where I feel off, my energy feels off. And it's very interesting to see that they usually are in the same space as well. So it's important for me to take time in between them and ground myself. And then I call in, I have my intention, I call in the Reiki energy. Um, and ask on behalf of the recipient to. I just have a little thing that I say, it's for their highest good and it's going to all the places they need it most, and that it be for the best for them and for the collective. So yeah, there is a ritual that I do beforehand, and it holds me accountable too, because if everything that we do, we look at, even, or think about, or ingest, is affecting our energy field. So it really holds me accountable to make sure that I am, doing my morning practice and I'm nourishing myself well, which is not always the case, but I certainly notice that it impacts my practice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it could be really beneficial for anybody to have a kind of a transitional routine, like you mentioned, when coming home from work and going into their home life, to be able to like separate that, so you're not kind of taking in the stresses or your past experiences of that day into that present moment where you're going to be with your family, your kids, etc. I think taking that 5 or 10 minutes just to get grounded, get rooted, and try and put some of those past things behind you can really help you to become conscious and aware and engaged in present situations.
So true, because yeah, like we were saying, everything being connected, we are all empathic. They talk about, some people being empaths, but truly we all are. Some of us are just more sensitive, more aware than others. So it's really important for everybody to know that, wherever you're putting your energy, wherever you're looking and whatever you're thinking about, it becomes your experience. So yeah, to really put, like you said, have a little practice where you're able to, one, protect your energy from the environment around you, and also know that nothing is personal, that often is not even your stuff. And then not bringing it and projecting it onto other people as well. It's a practice for sure.
Sure. And another example of how the energies and the frequencies that we experience are obviously just such a real thing. And to explain that again, people have experienced when someone walks into a room and they are carrying a certain energy with them, whether that's frustration or anger or rage or sadness, or on the other hand, joy, love, gratitude. These things you can feel. Like
Mm.
we are so interconnected with everything and everybody, that if people were to really sit down with that experience, they can probably remember when they walked into a room and there was one person there that was, feeling a certain way, and everyone could feel it.
Yeah, we really do have a responsibility for the way that we are carrying or bringing ourselves into other people's spaces. And, that's why we feel so wonderful when we go into the woods or we're near the ocean, because it's such a high vibratory, high frequency experience. Those trees, that ocean its authentic self. It is nothing but its pure highest energy. And so then we are absorbing that. So it's just one of the reasons so important to put ourselves in those situations where we're able to absorb the energy of other things and experiences around us and avoid toxic stuff.
Yeah, one real quick way to change your energy is to change your environment. And if you're able to step into the trees, into nature, into the forest by water, then your energy and your mood can change pretty much instantaneously. That's really great. You've got a really cool section on your website about energy management. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure, yeah. Again, same obviously theme, whatever we're looking at, um, whatever we're interacting with becomes our energetic field. So it's up to us to ensure that we're managing that in a good way, being self-aware of our energy and where we're focusing. It ultimately determines our life experience. So even just the food that we eat, not even just the food we eat, the content that we absorb absolutely everything. It becomes a part of our energetic field. So yeah, it's important that we're making an effort to really look at what it is that we're looking at, we're thinking about, and we're absorbing, because it becomes a part of us. They say, well, you are what you eat, you are what you everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and you mentioned a really important thing at the beginning about how, we are experiencing, whether we're aware of it or not, everything. And we might be conscious of that 1% of what we're experiencing, but there's so much that comes into our body that our body has to take in, digest, and hopefully eliminate as well, because an overwhelmed brain, an overwhelmed body will at some point potentially manifest dis-ease or trauma. So it's even more beneficial to become aware of those, the food that we are consuming, the content we're consuming, the things that the people that we're consuming, that we have around us, and we're experiencing those people and their thoughts and their feelings and their behaviors. We do have a big responsibility to ourselves and others to make sure we're keeping all of those things aligned with, kind of our true, authentic self.
Absolutely. Yeah. And in that too, it's so empowering to know that we have every ability to heal our bodies and heal our lives and have the experiences that we dream of. We come here with, in my belief, in my learnings, with a life plan. If you have a dream in your heart, you didn't just make that up. We're not that smart. We literally, it's ingrained within us. And so what we need to do if we want to experience those things and have those dreams is literally just line yourself up to it. It's all about alignment. And what that means is, like, it's, you've got, say you want to, for me, I wanted to own this business. I pictured this place, and now here I am. And it's because of how I managed my energy, and now I am a vibrational match to that experience because I raised my vibration. I believed in it so much. And because of that, the power of manifestation, it's just, we are literally just magnets for everything. So, or we can, on the other hand, feel bad about our lives and feel bad about our circumstances and not see things happening for us, but to us. And then staying in that low vibration, that low frequency, will ultimately attract all of those lower vibratory experiences, that bad luck, that reoccurring, just shitstorm of luck per se. So
Absolutely. Yeah. If you have a clear intention and you can match that intention with a high emotional state like joy or happiness or gratitude, yeah, you can create some really wonderful things in your life. I've seen it
yeah.
happen. I've seen miracles happen at meditation retreats, and I've done it myself in regards
Mm.
to, there's a big difference between wanting something through jealousy or frustration or rage or anger, or wanting something and desiring something, a really clear picture of that, but you're holding a different frequency of joy, gratitude, happiness, love. All those emotions carry a very, very different frequency, each of those. And again, yeah, as you say, we attract what we put out there, but we have to be conscious of our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors to make sure that they are aligning with those types of emotions that will attract the things that we really want.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Great. I'd love to hear about your experience with Truehope Canada, because this package that you're talking about encompasses Reiki, and it encompasses counseling and coaching, as well as supplementation with probiotics and Empower Plus, which is our broad spectrum micronutrient supplement. So could you tell us a little bit about your experience with Truehope?
Absolutely. It's been like everything, it's just breadcrumbs, and I was just following it along. When I was in school, I met Celeste, the founder's daughter, and she's such a lovely person. And she had brought in a sample for us, and I was keen to try it. And I was very surprised at how it made me feel. I felt much clearer. I was able to concentrate much better, and it gave me more energy. So I, of course, started taking it. And then years later, I kind of like dipped in, dipped out with it. And then, of course, years later, I started to formulate my practice. And I knew I wanted to, I was talking about it all the time to other people and sharing it. And then, why not carry it for myself? So, yeah, it's been amazing. It's no exaggeration to say it's a magic pill. I have such good outcomes. It's, you do the research and you see the testimonials, and it's exciting to see that, but to actually have people I know come in, and people in tears at the way that they feel, the testimonials you get personally, it brings me to tears. It's so exciting to be able to share it with other people and see the difference it makes in their lives.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, I've also been blessed to experience, doing videos at different health shows of testimonials of people who they're essentially taking the same broad spectrum micronutrient supplement, but everyone's story is so incredibly different. Everyone's journey is so different. But when you are consuming a product that is so bioavailable and taking care of the majority of the nutrition that's kind of missing in our diet, then the brain and the body can start functioning in a way that is a lot more in tune to balance, to prosperity, and to ultimately making us feel great. And then once we feel great, our experiences completely change, and we're able to see the world in a very, very different way. Do you have any particular stories or testimonial of a success story that you've seen with this
Yeah,
product?
a lot. Yeah. Now that I'm, practicing and sharing it so much, I have a lot of testimonials. Um, One it's very close to my heart is my mom. My mom has been on antidepressants for the last, oh gosh, probably 16 years, and the highest dose of the particular one she was taking. And she just this last week, she had been weaning herself off slowly with the support of her doctor, and started taking Truehope to help her, of course, fill up her stores as she is weaning. And now she's just taking it. Oh, I've just got like full body shivers talking about it.
Amazing.
Just my spirit just tingling. And she is so productive. She's, like, to be in a depressed place, in a lower place, you just don't have the energy or the gumption to do a lot. And so it was obvious. You can go into her house and it felt low vibration. And she's not that person. We aren't that person. We are this brimming, excited spirit. We're here to experience joy and just experience life. And she's doing that now. And it's yes about energy management, and yes about having those beautiful practices for yourself and the self-awareness and all of that. But when we are nutritionally deficient, devoid of these, key nutrients, like you said, we can't make the connections in our brain. We just are not, we just don't have the nutrients to be able to support even just getting out of bed, like putting on a meditation in the morning. So that together, the combination of that, the Truehope has just been miraculous for her. And she's a brand new person. And I just could go on and on. I had a girl text me, and she was in tears after 4 days. She had no idea she could feel this good. That's so common, I hear. So yeah.
Remarkable. Thank you so much for sharing that. And obviously, it's super important that if you're looking to taper off or come off any pharmaceutical medication, that you should be consulting and working with your doctor. And we have a really incredible micronutrient support team that you can connect with at Truehope. You can go to truehopecanada.com to find out that link. But yeah, it's just wonderful, and just to hear that even in just a 4-day period, somebody can radically start changing.
Even less than that. My gosh, wow. I'm not sure if I should say this. I'm sure they won't listen. So my grandma started giving it to my papa, just drugging him, just giving him one a day instead of his other vitamin. And she cannot believe the change in him.
Sorry, is this your grandmother giving your grandfather?
My papa. Yes, okay. Yeah, which is super, because he's such a teddy. He's a loving guy, but he's a grumpy. Yeah, he can be a little grumpy.
Okay.
And you can just tell, like, I go over there now, and he's just got that glimmer in his eye, and he's more joyous. And yeah, she's just so elated by it. She said, "You saved Papa." Like,
that's incredibly adorable. So after your mother had a really positive experience, after your grandmother experienced this, she passed this on?
Well, actually, my grandma did it first. My mom was on her medication, so she just wasn't quite sure. And then, after talking to a doctor and kind of thinking about it, and then my auntie as well, everybody's just got a little bit of a trickle effect. It's nice to see other people. It's difficult as the person selling it, like people take it with a grain of salt, but when
of course
so it's been really, really helpful, that word of mouth, for sure.
Yeah, when you see somebody who you've known for a while, and then you see them change, and they start to glow, people want a piece of the action. So that's without question going to be the best type of testimonial, that somebody is going to see that with their own eyes, see somebody change, and what are you doing differently? What's going on? And then that's one of the best ways that this trickle effect of taking something or doing something really positive towards you is gets around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Courtney, thank you so much. How can people connect with you?
Well, I am on Facebook and Instagram. I'm much more active on Instagram. I share stories over there and a lot of posts. So yeah, you can absolutely connect with me on either of those platforms. I do have my website, and it's under construction, as so many websites are. I don't really pay attention too much to it, but you can check that out too. It, like I said, needs some updating, but social media is where you can find me the most.
Perfect. Well,
I'm also
sorry.
I'm located in Port Alberni, so we're just on the main strip of Johnson here. If anybody's local to the island, I do distance Reiki and of course, Truehope is available everywhere. But despite whether or not you're local, I am available to speak with, and have the Glow Up package available.
Wonderful. Well, we'll make sure that we include all of those contact details in the show notes. But thank you so much for joining us today, Courtney. Wonderful stories, and you do have this incredible glow energy about you as well, which is I really appreciate you bringing to the show today.
Thank you so much. It was
awesome.
A pleasure, Simon.
Great. Well, thank you so much for listening, everybody. This is Truehope Cast, the official podcast of Truehope Canada. I hope you enjoyed the show. We will see you next week. Goodbye.